Okay. So let's continue from here. Advertising supported revenue models, which means these businesses generate revenue from advertising, right? So they get their money from advertising for different companies. And the problem here, second problem is demographic information. I will just give you one general example, okay? So there are general demographics. And there are specific demographic. So there are businesses that use general demography, and there are businesses that use a specific demography. Which one is profitable? It's based on the number of people that follow your website. For YouTube, it's okay, right? Because so many people use YouTube, and for Yahoo also it might be the same. But when you base your revenue based on advertising, when you use advertising supported revenue, companies pay more, okay? More pay for websites or businesses that use specific demographics, okay? Because this means that they can target these customers, and they know these customers are affiliated with their products, okay? If it is general, there could be 1 million users, okay? But from this 1 million, maybe 200 or only 300 or 100,000 could be the users of the products of these companies. So it is very difficult to reach or to identify those customers in general demographics. But when web businesses use the specific demographics, okay, as I said, the example could be, for example, there is a web business called car dealer, let's say, okay? So in a car if there is a car dealer business, so anyone, the car dealer deals, or let's say sells cars of all type. For example, they say they sell Kia, they sell Hyundai, they sell Ford, they sell all types of cars, okay? So for Ford company to pay or to subscribe for this advertising business, they do not know exactly which number, or what number, I mean, of these customers are interested in their products, okay? So this car dealer might have hundreds of thousands of visitors, but these visitors are divided among different types of cars, okay? So it's very difficult to specifically identify which of these customers are interested in Ford car only, right? But instead of being a car dealer, what if there is a business called Ford Car Dealer.com, something like that? So which means a customer which comes and visits this website, we can know that this customer is interested in a Ford car. So we can track this customer, we can target this customer, because we know that this customer is interested in our cars, okay? So as a business, they prefer to pay more for a business that has a specific demographics than which has a general demographics, because it is easier for the companies to specifically target these customers. Okay, so I hope it's clear. Then let's continue. They can obtain large advertisers' interest by using a specialized information website. They draw a specialized audience. Okay, as I've said, you can identify your audiences. Okay, example, this Huffington Post and drug report, they focus on consumers. For example, this focuses on consumer report. Or if you check, for example, how stuff works, people, this is a website, okay, if you know this. So how stuff works is a website where you can find how different stuffs work. For example, how a stove works, okay, or how a computer works, okay. So for example, most US citizens, they use this how stuff works to know how something or how some device works. So those customers who come here or type, for example, how can I use this type of stove, okay, in the search engine. So it is very clear that this customer is using some type of stove. Okay, so for this company producing stove, it's easier to identify this customer and target this customer. Okay, but if you take, for example, a YouTube, so many millions of people watch a video. Okay, a video could have 1 million views. So from these viewers, you do not know which of these viewers are interested in your product or not. But there are advertising in every 5 minutes or 2 minutes about some different products. But this products could be related to the viewer, or it could not be related to the viewer. So sometimes it's just a waste of advertising for some customer who is not even interested in your product. Okay, but when it is specific or when it is a specialized audience, then it's easy for the business to target these customers. Okay, so it's just like this one, general interest. Okay, so there are 3 strategies. In general interest, we have so many people, so advertisers pay a low rate because there might be few customers and these customers are not differentiated. Okay, when you use a specific interest strategy, advertisers, they pay higher rate because you can identify the specific interests of these people, right? And the third one is a collection of specific interests. For example, a website only for trip, which is TripAdvisor, okay? Or a website that shows coffee houses, only for coffees. This for selling pets, okay? So this is very much specific to individual users. So for these kinds of businesses, which are based on advertising support revenue model, the companies pay high rates for advertising because it helps them to easily identify each individual customers. Okay, then carry on, and there are web portals. A portal is an online directory, right? So where uh, uh, different hyperlinks are displayed, right? For example, Google by itself is a portal, right? We say Google portal. We say it's portal because when you type in google.com or when you view the original homepage of Google, there are portals, which means you can find Gmail, YouTube, so on the Hakeo website, okay, and different links to different websites, okay. So that is called a list of hyperlinks to web pages, okay. So web portals are directories, web directories, and nowadays they are becoming famous. So this portal, these hyperlinks to different websites are categorized based on your interest of search, right? So let's say you have installed Google for the first time and you you searched for Swan University portal. So when you visit Google for the second time, you will find Swan University portal as a web link on the Google website. Okay, so that is called a web portal. So web portal is also using this advertising supported revenue model, and it is better than this general advertising. Or those who use general strategy to advertise. Okay. And there is also Yahoo portal, okay? But specific interest, for example, there is also a portal with a specific interest called CNET, where technology-related solutions or technology-related informations are displayed, okay? So there are general like Google and Yahoo, because we have different web links, and there are also specific, okay? So even though these portals are general, they are a little bit helpful than just having very big interest group or very big demographics of customers. And so let's pass this. You can, I guess you can read this. And targeting classified advertising sites, they can command higher rates than, so it's, we have already talked about this, right? So when you have a targeted classified advertising sites, then businesses will pay higher for the advertising. And if you have a general classified advertising site, then the businesses would like to pay lower money, right? So for example, the business for Craigslist is not that big, okay? Even Craigslist provides free advertising for some businesses, okay? The reason is Craigslist is not targeted advertising site, okay? In Craigslist, you can find different types of products. So different people who want to buy TV, people who want to buy mobile phone, people who want to buy furnitures, all go there. And you don't know which of these are interested in furniture, so that you can use Craigslist to advertise your products, okay? So companies do not prefer to use Craigslist to advertise their products, because the number, or I mean the users on this Craigslist are of different varieties, and it's difficult to target these customers, okay? But there are the most classified advertising, like web employment, where people who are searching for jobs go there. And for example, if somebody types a mechanical engineer looking for jobs related to mechanical engineering, then you can advertise products related to mechanical engineering, or you can advertise jobs related to mechanical advertising. That's more specific. And as I've said, auto traders, this is general. But if you focus, like if you have a Kia trader, okay, .com, or if you have like Ford trader or Hyundai trader, it would be more advantageous to have a high rate of advertising payment, okay? So, but there are also a mix. There are some businesses who opened as advertising supported revenue businesses, but later on, since the advertising is not gaining, I mean, is not generating money, then they have mixed it with subscription. So this means you, as a customer, you have to subscribe to their website at the same time. So they get money from the subscribers. They also get money from the advertisers. Okay, so this mixed revenue model is called advertising subscription revenue model. Okay, so some businesses mix this advertising, but also subscriptions required from customers to use or from the viewers to use the website. Okay. And this example could be for newspapers. Okay. So if you go to New York Times, the online version, you have to subscribe to read the content of the newspaper, right? But at the same time, since it is online, on the right or left edge of the website, you'll find advertisements. Okay, so this newspaper business can get income from advertising here and also from subscription. Okay, so that I mean from those customers who have subscribed for their website. Okay, so that's a mix of advertising and also subscription. So advertising supported, these are some of the businesses that use advertising supported, and advertising subscription mixed revenue model is some of these are here. Okay, the Economist, Foreign Affairs, Forbes, for example, for Forbes you have to subscribe, but also Forbes website has advertising, so they advertise different businesses. Okay, but only advertising this Newsweek, for example, Financial Times, you can read for free, right? But they have advertising. So on their website, you can read the content of Financial Times for free, but they advertise products on their website. So they are only dependent on advertising. But as we've said, there are other businesses who mix advertising and subscription. And also ESPN, this is a famous business or famous website where you can see sport games usually, right? So they leverage this brand name from cable television business and they sell advertising. They give free information, but they get their income from advertising. So the mixed model also includes advertising and subscription. Okay, so if you notice, some websites will give you, or some softwares, for example, they say you either buy and use this software, or we will give you just 20 days of trial version. Okay, so for 20 days they will give you free access to the software. After 20 days you have to buy, right? So this is a mix, free content, also subscription. Okay, and some give you free content but advertising. They advertise their products. For example, for YouTube, we don't pay for YouTube, right? Because YouTube gets its income from advertising. But if we had to pay, there should have been a subscription. So you can only use YouTube when you subscribe for the channel, okay? Or for the website in general. And there is this consumerreport.org, which is purely subscription supported. There are also only subscription supported, which means users can only view information or content of the website if they subscribe. And some of these websites, they do not advertise. For example, this one, consumerreport.org, it's a non-profit organization, okay? So they don't charge for advertising, okay? They don't advertise unless it is for their own fundraising. So this consumerreports.org requires their followers or people who want to view their websites to subscribe on fee, which means you have to pay some money per month or per year, but they do not advertise. So that is subscription only revenue model, right? And fee for transaction, in the fee for transaction, you have to pay service charge, okay, based on the number of transactions. So for this, I gave you the example for web businesses that sell, for example, airline tickets or brokers. Okay, brokers are websites or intermediaries, we call them. Okay, intermediaries in a sense. You know Amazon, right? Amazon.com, or you know Gmarket. You can go to Gmarket and you can view so many different types of products, right? Gmarket and Amazon are the same, right? Because both of them do not produce anything. They are just what? They are intermediaries. They display products from different companies. Okay? So as a user, you log into, you open Amazon.com or Gmart.com, you view products, their prices, and you buy these products. Okay? So between you as a customer and the companies selling their products. So there could be thousands of companies' products displayed here. Okay? So Amazon will get its money from these companies, right? And sometimes they also charge you. Okay, so they get they charge their customers, or these companies. For example, if a product called A from a company called ABC Trading is sold, then this ABC Trading has to pay money to Amazon or to Gmart. Okay, whoever is hosting that product. Okay, so these businesses are called intermediaries. And the value chain, in the value chain, there was disintermediation and intermediation. So let me talk about this. Previously, in the first place, there was intermediaries like Amazon and Gmart, but through time, businesses try to sell their products from their own website. Okay, so they did not want the help of the intermediaries like Amazon or Gmart. Okay, they want to sell their own product from their own website, so they started to abandon or to remove these intermediaries from their value chain. So that is called disintermediation. Okay, removing any intermediary. So which means we directly buy the products from the companies, okay, and their website. So we don't go to Amazon, Gmart, or any website. So there is no intermediary between the customer buying the product and the company. That is a direct sale. So that is called disintermediation. But the problem is when the number of companies or competition become very tough. For example, computer selling companies could be 100, let's say. There are 100 producers of computers. So as a customer, to buy a computer, you have to visit this 100 websites to see which one of these products is cheaper, right? And it is very time-taking, and customers are very tired of going and checking to different websites, okay? But when there is intermediary, you can find products from all these companies on a single website, okay? So now they again realized the need to have intermediaries, because without that, then it's very difficult for customers to find and to compare and to buy products. So again, intermediation is introduced. Then that is called re-intermediation. Okay, so that is a process. It started with intermediation, and the number of businesses were small, and they rejected the need for having intermediaries. But when the business became very competitive and there are so many companies providing similar products, then again they needed to have intermediaries, and that is called re-intermediation. So we are now in a re-intermediation stage, right? I hope you understood that, my point, okay? So intermediaries, or now the re-intermediation, charges their companies and also the customers based on the transaction, based on the products they buy. So if you buy a computer, so maybe 5% from you, 5% from the company will be charged, that is going to be paid for Amazon or for Gmart or for any intermediary. So that is fee for transaction, okay? And proceeding, and we have stock brokerage firms. Okay, let's pass this. So I will try to skip some of the contents because I think you can easily understand. So if you understand the concept of fee for transaction, then I guess you can read and you can understand these points discussed under each slides, okay? So let's go to the other model. This all are the same, okay? Because I mean, it's more explanation and explanation for travel agencies, for example, Expedia, Travelocity, Orbit. So they charge based on the transaction, right? For example, Expedia, if they sell airline ticket for 100 customers, for example, Korean Airlines tickets for 100 customers, then they charge the Korean Airlines per the customer. Okay, so it's easy to calculate even. And still it's about transactions. So I guess you can, most of these points I have already discussed previously. So I want you to read this by yourself, okay? The same, okay. And this is the other one. Fee for service, okay? The previous one is fee for transaction, and this is fee for service. So there are web businesses who use this revenue model, fee for services, who charge fees based on the services they deliver to their customers, okay? So one famous example would be online games. Okay, so to play online games, you have to pay, right? You subscribe, then you pay. You subscribe and you pay. This payment is for the service rendered to you from the business, okay? So the sales revenue comes from subscription or pay to play premium, okay? It could be subscription fee, it could be pay to play. You you pay once and play, or you can subscribe and pay, play for a month or a year, okay? So this is also again an explanation of the same thing, okay? I want you to read this. So, but let's talk about this concept. This is an economics concept, free for money, and free for money and fee for few. This is free, okay? And this is fee. So there are some businesses, web businesses, that offer their services for free for many customers, and they charge only few of them, okay? And there are also businesses, web businesses, that charge or that fee many and free few, okay? So this is economics of manufacturing. As you know, in manufacturing, there is what we call the economies of scale, right? So economies of scale means when production increases, the cost of production decreases, right? Because when you specialize and when you have all the material set, then, for example, producing 10 items of the same product, let's say, will cost you $10. But producing 100 of the same items will cost you less than 100, okay? Not 100. You might think that if it is $10 for 10 items, so it should be $100 for 100 items. It's not like that, because there is what we call economies of scale, which means when you produce more, the cost of production will decrease. So when you increase your production from 10 to 100, your production cost will be less than 100. It might be 80 or $70. Okay? So, but this has a significant difference in web businesses. Okay? In web business, as compared to the manufacturing sector, the economies of scale is very small in a sense. The cost, again, it is the same thing, okay? When you have more viewers of the website, okay, the cost that you incur for this website decreases, okay? So those of you who are familiar with programming, as a web business, you pay when you develop your website. Okay, that's one-time payment, right? And that is a huge amount of money that you pay to build your website. Once you build your website, then other costs are like maintenance cost or cost of transaction or cost of communication with your customers, right? Or a little update on your website. So the same principle holds true for web businesses. When for manufacturing sector, when production increases, the cost of production decreases. For web businesses, when number of viewers increase, okay, when number of viewers of your website increase, the cost that you incur to build or to update this website decreases. Okay, you pay very little amount of money to have very large number of viewers. Okay, so the unit cost is very small as compared to physical products or as compared to the manufacturing sector. Okay, so the graph is the same, but for web businesses, it's way smaller cost with having many viewers to your website. Okay, so this has advantage for web businesses. So you charge fee for some differentiated products. Okay, let's talk about changing strategies, revenue models in transition. So this revenue model in transition talks about companies, for example, who have started as advertising supported businesses, but later on they change it to advertising and subscription revenue model. Or those businesses who started as only subscription revenue model, but later on change it to advertising and subscription. So this is called revenue model in transition. Okay, and this happens to so many businesses. Okay, some of them they charge subscription fees, but when the number of users or the number of viewers of their website increases dramatically, now they have so many viewers, right? So they don't want to charge them, or they don't want them to pay subscription fee, but they just get their money from advertising. Okay, because now many businesses will be attracted to this website because there are so many people who view these websites. Okay, So as you know, advertising fee is dependent on the number of people who could be reached by the website. Okay, so once you have a big customer base, just like YouTube, then you don't charge subscription fees because you already get a big amount of money from advertisers, because now advertisers are interested in your business because you have a huge customer or viewers of your website. Okay. So, like subscription to advertising supported model, as I have already discussed, or advertising supported to advertising subscription mixed model, something like this, okay? From advertising supported to free for service model, okay? So these are all alternatives to different business models, okay? Okay. Then let's proceed. As this is all about this business models, so I want you to read because I will stop here. So next week I will be talking maybe few of the pointers after this, because after this we have only about 20 something slides, and the important point I want you to talk about is the usability concept. So other things are easy to understand. So next week I will talk about usability, and we will proceed to the next chapter. Okay. So I want you to help me and read this, okay? It's easy because it's something that you can read and understand, but if you find it difficult to understand, then let me know through the portal, or you can email me so that I can select those topics and discuss them here, okay? So we have about 77 slides. We are here on the covered about 50 slides, the important ones. So the important one in this chapter is to talk about the the revenue models. Okay, so I want you to read more about this. Okay, and if you have questions, please let me know on the portal. You can write me this questions so that we can discuss next week. Okay. So thank you for having me. Have a good day.